morning and welcome. You are watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. The big story that we are tracking this morning. The Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut was arrested at midnight after over 6 hours of questioning in the Patra Chawl land scam case. Now, Raut alleged that he was being targeted by the centre to weaken the Shiv Sena. ED officials have now searched Raut's Mumbai home for the most part of Sunday after he refused to appear for questioning despite being summoned twice. He will be produced before the court today. Do remember that yesterday, of course, he was questioned for several hours before the ED finally arrested.
की बातें चल रही है, अपोजिशन मुक्त पार्लियामेंट को चाहते हैं, इसलिए वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं। लेकिन संजय राउत कानूनी तौर पे लड़ेंगे और अपना जो भी कुछ उनको कहना है वो कहेंगे।
सर, मेरा आखिरी सवाल है, आज पार्लियामेंट के अंदर क्या स्ट्रैटेजी रहेगी ऑपोजिशन का, क्या मुद्दा उठाया जाएगा सर?
ना, हमारे तो बहुत से मुद्दे हैं, एक नहीं दो नहीं है, सारे मुद्दे अलग अलग तरीके से उठाएंगे। एक तो महंगाई का मुद्दा है ही है, हम लड़ रहे हैं उसके लिए राज्यसभा में। आज तो लोकसभा में क्या होगा मालूम नहीं है। फिर उसके बाद गुजरात में जो ट्रेजेडी हुई है, जो हुज ट्रेजेडी, और कम से कम 100-150 लोग मर चुके हैं, वो एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है। वो भी गुजरात में प्राइम मिनिस्टर के
So that, of course, was Mallikarjun Kharge from the Congress party saying that there are a large number of issues that the opposition wants to raise and probably will be raising them in both houses of Parliament. But let's go back now to the story we were tracking this morning. Sanjay Raut was arrested yesterday after about 6 hours of questioning. He is likely to be produced in court, and tracking all those moves is Alisha. She's outside the Mumbai courthouse, and we've also got Ankit joining us from outside the ED's office. Now, Alisha, to you first, give us a sense of when we are expecting Sanjay Raut to be produced before the court today.
Sanjay Raut will be first taken to the JJ hospital, that we have been informed, because it is a standard procedure that need to be followed by the agency whenever who is the accused who has been arrested, and later within 24 hours that he has to produce before the court. But before that, he has to be taken for the medical, and right after that it's around 11:30 that he will be produced before the special PMLA court, that is a designated enforcement directorate court, where several of the revelation that will made by enforcement directorate. We know the grounds that he was arrested because it's because of non-cooperation, and we were knowing that even last summons when he appeared before the enforcement directorate, he was not cooperating, which is why he was kept in the office. He was interrogated for around 10 hours, and even yesterday he was interrogated, the arrest that was made, but before that he was interrogated for 6 hours in the ED office. We witnessed yesterday while taking a decision whether to arrest Sanjay Raut or not, because the sources have already indicated that there are several evidence that come across enforcement directorate. They have the documents that clearly make a stand to place Sanjay Raut under arrest, and that is what happened. We even saw there are senior ED officials who arrived at the ED office at late night by around 11:30. After which there was a official arrest that was made of Sanjay Raut. But importantly, all eyes on a special PMLA court where ED is going to produce Sanjay Raut, and what is the role of Sanjay Raut will be put forward before the court, and where the ED will seek his custody.
So, of course, Alisha will be tracking all those arguments that are made in court. Let me go back to Ankit now. Ankit, yesterday, of course, about 11 lakhs in cash was seized, and largely what what the ED is saying, that there has allegedly been money laundering in the about 1,200 crore Patra Chawl case. Now, one of the allegations is that Sanjay Raut's wife actually bought a home for about 87 lakh rupees in Dadar, and that was proceeds of crime.
4 crore rupees worth of money that has been exchanged according to the enforcement directorate. Now, we are, if you can hear me, we are reporting from right outside the enforcement directorate.
All right, I think that appears to be a very poor link that we've established with Ankit over there. We're going to try and fix that and go back to him just a bit. But as we've been pointing out, of course, he is going to be produced before the court today. A PMLA court will be hearing this case in a short while from now. But we've been getting several political reactions to this. We're going to play out those.
संजय राउत जी का जांच शुरू थी। कई बिल्डरों को एफएसआई, टीडीआर इसके माध्यम से भी बड़ा घोटाला हुआ है और कई बिल्डरों को बड़ा फायदा पहुंचाने का काम किया है और जो संपत्ति अवैध जमा की वो अटैच करना चाहिए और जो गरीब लोगों का पैसा संजय राउत ने सही मायने में महाविकास आघाड़ी के माध्यम से उसमें भ्रष्टाचार किया है वो भी आगे आएंगे।
आखिरकार लंबी तफ्तीश के बाद शिवसेना नेता की गिरफ्तारी हो गई। मद मस्ती और अहंकार के साथ सत्ता का दुरुपयोग करते हुए यदि जनता की लूट की जाए तो अंततः उसे परास्त ही होना है।
संजय राउत जी झुकेंगे नहीं, आपकी मंशा पूरी नहीं होने देंगे और हम भी देखते हैं कि अब दिल्ली में कितना जोर है।
All right, so as we were hearing those political reactions, we're also expecting to see some amount of protest done by the opposition parties. Do remember that Priyanka Chaturvedi from the Shiva Sena has already raised this issue in Parliament, and she has given a notice to discuss this. Apart from that, of course, we're also hearing that the NCP will be staging a protest in Mumbai at about 10 o'clock. But we are still waiting to get word from waiting to get word from Uddhav Thackeray. But we earlier had a reaction that came in from Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Shiva Sena.
Written a letter to him because this is extremely an important and urgent and pressing issue of this nation, that all the institutions are being compromised by the Bharatiya Janata Party for their own political gains, whether it's the Enforcement Directorate, which is now the extended department of the Bharatiya Janata Party, whether it is the Income Tax Department, whether it is the CBI. And arresting a floor leader of Shiv Sena at a time when Parliament is in session, not allowing him to do his parliamentary duties. And as per the rules and regulations, he should have been kept informed. In case that has not been done, what action is he going to be taking? This discussion needs to happen on the floor of the House.
I'm going to come back to you, Alisha. You just heard Priyanka Chaturvedi, Alisha, over there saying that there were a lot of procedures that are in place if you're arresting a parliamentarian and alleging that none of those were followed. So how does the Shiva Sena now intend to proceed in this?
Well, Nupur, we have been hearing since yesterday, since the time the enforcement directorate officials that reached to Sanjay Raut officials, there are several bites from the Shiv Sena that is coming in, clearly indicating that this is nothing but a political vendetta and central agency has been used as a puppet by Bharatiya Janata Party. But what we know, this is a case, something very important, and there are clear evidence which has actually made arrest of Sanjay Raut, because there are the documents, there are the witness statement, and what we know from even our sources, that Swapna Patkar, known to be a very important witness in this case. Her statement has also been recorded, and she has revealed that there are several of properties that has been brought in and that was purchased in a name of her, but that actually belongs to Sanjay Raut and his family. So that has also come before the enforcement directorate. Not only unaccounted cash that was recovered and incriminating documents that was recovered, but also Sanjay Raut was not cooperating with the agency, which he need to do, because even Bharatiya Janata Party speaking to the media was clearly mentioning that if there is nothing wrong he has done, so there is nothing to fear. But the case has clearly indicated, and the arrest that has been made is clearly indication that there was some of the involvement of Sanjay Raut being a political leader, and of course he's been a senior Shiv Sena leader, so that has really put a benefit for the Praveen Raut. And actually we know that 100 crore that was taken from HDIL that was diverted to his close associate and close aide, including Sanjay Raut and his family.
All right, stay with us. I'm going to go across to, Ankit very quickly on this. Ankit, there is a web of transactions essentially that the Enforcement Directorate is looking at very closely. Now, give our, for the benefit of our viewers, could you explain to us what this scam is and what are the allegations of the Enforcement Directorate? And, we understand that this is a scam that could be worth crores.
I will, and just to tell you, we are just awaiting Sanjay Raut to be taken out from the ED's office behind us to the JJ hospital where his medical will take place. That is delayed by just about a few minutes. It was supposed to be at 9:30. It's now past 10, but it will happen anytime. Meanwhile, since 2007, there has been a plan to redevelop the Patra Chawl. Now, what happens when things are redeveloped in Mumbai is that the people who live in the slum are briefly moved, and that area is given for redevelopment. Now, the constructor can build private residences, but he is supposed to also rehabilitate the people who have been moved from that chawl. Now that is the rehabilitation that was not done. 672 families were not given their flats, their tenements as they were promised. Instead, the entire portion was allegedly, according to the ED, sold off to private bidders for a total of 900 crore rupees. On top of that, despite not completing this contract, Praveen Raut, who was the proprietor of the firm that was supposed to, had received money and an equity infusion from HDIL. So that takes it to about 1,000 crore rupees. Alongside that, there was a cash transfer allegedly made from the wife of Praveen Raut to the wife of Sanjay Raut, Varsha Raut, that was used to buy that Dadar flat, which was attached by the ED and also raided yesterday in Nupur. So these are some of the transactions that have taken place. Some total of 1,034 crore rupees according to the Enforcement Directorate, and that is under the scanner. To add to that, yesterday they found 11 lakh or so rupees at Sanjay Raut's house. That is unexplained income. That is how the ED has noted it in its arrest papers and its various documents in relation to this case. So that is what the grilling is likely to have been about. He was asked to produce documents and also asked to explain himself. So that is the case in a nutshell. Of course, it's more granular than that. But to put it shortly, that's how it is.
Absolutely. Ankit, of course, is continuing to bring us updates from outside the ED's office. We are expecting Sanjay Raut to be taken for a medical test. That, of course, is procedural, and thereafter to the court. Both of you, stay with us. We're going to come back to you shortly.